On a double, 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 double on a double in a bubble, in a bubble, in a bubble, Bitcoin bubble. On a double, on a double, on a double, on a double in a bubble. Bitcoin on a double, Pulsecoin on a double, Hex on a double, Peacock on a double, Pepe on a double, Hex on a double, on a double, on a double, on a double, on a double in a bubble. Double the price, double the highs, double the highs, double the hype, double the hype, double the vibes, double the beat, double the beats, double the pain, double the gain, double the balls, double the bulls, double the head, double the price on a double on a double on, double in a bubble. Yeah, welcome to this video. Right now we are talking about, yeah, I'm actually very authentically, I am authentically and unapologetically myself, and that's never going to change. All right, yeah, that's an interesting topic we are going to be discussing today. So this is Morris, the Kenyan Hexagon. Yeah, so I'm gonna present a screen here just talking about what is happening. Yeah, actually, I got this inspiration from Iggy Azelia, or is it Azela? Right. Yeah. So that's what's up. This is what's up. What's up? What is talking? What is happening? Yeah. I am I am authentically I am authentically and unapologetically myself, and that's never going to change. Yeah, and then our man here, our great king here, replied by saying about that memento mori. Actually, what I was talking about here is the word memento mori. Yeah, exactly. It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting about what this means, like memento mori. Like on this tweet, you can see this guy, Trevor. Is it Trevor? Yeah, Trevor Hexan 369 replied asking Grok to give an explanation about that. Then Richard Hart okay. So Grok said Richard Hart or Richard is replying to Iggy's I will never change. I will never change with about that plus a grim reaper GIF. Memento mori is Latin for remember that you will die. Now this is what we're interested in. Memento mori is a Latin for remember that you will die, and classic reminder of mortality and impermanence. He's jokingly pointing out that death will force change eventually, no matter how authentic you stay. Dark humor, Richard, that style. Yeah, so this is Grook trying to just to bring out the dark humor in Richard Hart, just by saying memento mori. It's just to mean that change is inevitable and change can come anytime, and things can change, tables turn, like things do happen, and you can't be in control. But remaining yourself authentically, being yourself authentically and unapologetically, that's something that you should live with, probably on your day to day. Just being authentic and unapologetically on what you do. Yeah, I think every video that I'm trying to do currently is taking us to what is happening with Pulse, what the Pulse ecosystem looks like currently, and about these are the assets, and this is how they are trading right now. This is what is happening. Yeah, this is your cup of tea if you are into digital assets. And we are in day 1026. Actually, Pulse ecosystem just hit 1000 days. That that is to mean on it now 26 days since we hit 1000 days since Pulse chain was launched, or since Pulse became live. Yeah, and now this ecosystem or this network has been up and running. It has no on or off switch button. That is to mean it is decentralized and no one can alter it. Yeah, that is the good thing about crypto and about blockchain. Blockchains is such a big word, but it is just a series of blocks. But then we have these assets which have each one as its own blockchain, and that's why we usually say things like Bitcoin blockchain, Ethereum blockchain, Pulse chain blockchain, of course. So that is how now they are aligned, and that's a simple way of understanding about blockchains. And now in these we have these assets. Like for instance, here we have Pulse blockchain, and under it we have Pulse, which is now the gas token. If you are using that blockchain, anything that you are doing within that blockchain, you pay for gas, and that gas is in form of Pulse. And that's why now we have this Pulse coin, and it is now trading at 0.509172 dollars. So that's what's up. That's what is happening. You can see in the last 24 hours, it is up 8.80%. All right. So again, that is now in simple to say it's like a building, or you can see it like a road that is being used by many cars. And now these cars are now what we are calling smart contracts, or now for this case tokens, things that have been protocols that have been built on on top of now that blockchain. And now these are now the users, and that's why we are using the analogy of a road and cars or vehicles. And that's why now we have now the vehicles are now the tokens, because they are being hosted by that road. And then whenever you're using that road, you must pay for gas, and now the gas that you are paying is in form of pulse. I hope we are together there. And that's now where this pulse comes from. That is a great explanation about pulse. And now we have pulsex. Now, during that using the same analogy of the road, now we have an exchange, an exchange which is decentralized, and then you use it on. It's only used on the Pulse chain blockchain. So that is used now to exchange uh, from one coin to another token. Maybe to explain in simple, that is where you go and swap. Maybe you want hex, so you have to use pulse to get hex. So it's now the analogy of the road. If you want now to go to a certain direction, you must pass somewhere where you can go and exchange. Think of it like a bank where you go and give out a certain asset or a certain fiat money, and then you are given another type of uh, asset, or now money. Maybe it's like now exchanging from Kenyan money to Ugandan money, or Kenya to Tanzania, Kenya to US dollars. Yeah, that way. So for that case, now you use Pulsex. That is where you go and you go and do that type of trading. And now you can see the price right now, it's trading at 0.506463. Actually, it's that down, and that is in terms of dollars. And you can see it is up 6.18% in the last 24 hours. Yeah, and then now we have here Hex. Hex is mining protocol. This is now where this is where you go and mine new hex tokens. Yeah, and now hex, think of it like it is the first certificate on of deposit on a blockchain. It's it's a CD. We usually call them CD, certificate of deposits. Uh, there's that comparison between hex and Bitcoin because hex is everything Bitcoin, but then with hex you can be able to stake it. Staking means locking that up, and that's why it is called a certificate of deposit, because once you stake or once you lock that amount of money, you usually get uh, a certificate. All right. Now that certificate is what now identifies you on the blockchain that you have locked that amount of hex or that amount on a blockchain. And now once you have locked it, you will be getting interest or mining new hex. Now the interest that you are getting is in form of now new hex, and that's yours, of course, but then you are getting it on a daily until that stake of yours matures. And now something funny with, or something very interesting with Hex is that you can stake between 1 day to 15 years, which is five, 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 5 days. 5,555 days. So you can stake for any period between that. You can stake for 15 years, 14 years, you can stake for 10 years, either 5 years or 1 year, 3 months, any amount that you want, but any amount of time that you want, but it has to be within 1 day to 15 years. Okay, now that is about Hex, and you can see right now it's trading at 0.001675 dollars. That is to say, it's actually very low. It is almost, actually, it is up from all its time low. How many percent? 15%. So the lowest it has ever gone. Now it is up from that low 15%, and that places it at 0.001675 dollars. And then now we have EHEX. EHEX is Hex on Ethereum. Actually, now about this, we have a small history about on explaining what EHEX is. Now, in 2021, we had before 2021, or from 2019 up to 2021, for almost 3 years or 2 years, we had Hex listed on Ethereum blockchain. And then with time, as the blockchain was having many uses, or many people were using that blockchain, and many others were taking their profits because the blockchain, the ether, the the coin on Ethereum is called ether. It had made its all-time high, and that time you found that when many people were taking profits, others were trading, so the network became very busy and it was becoming a bit very slow. And again, once you are transacting within the blockchain, it was very expensive because now sending hex to another user, it was very expensive. Like literally, you could almost like pay here in Kenya, you could actually pay almost a thousand shilling, and then you are just sending crypto worth 50 shillings. So it was that expensive. So that is what happened. Okay, excuse me, a bit hot here. So right about that time, it was very expensive, and now Richard Hart, who is the founder of Hex and the founder of Pulsechain, launched now Pulsechain in 2023. So about that time, since 2021, he was building with the developers. Of course, he was building and also explaining and teaching people about now the need of having a blockchain. And now we had now Pulsechain, which is smarter, is faster, and it is energy efficient. So we had Pulse in 2023, and once Pulse now was launched, we had it having its own decentralized exchange, which is now Pulsex. Okay, now in similar, you can say Pulse was now the Ethereum, and then Uniswap was now the current Pulsex, and Hex now was listed on, or now we had the new hex, which is now the original hex on past chain. And then now the hex that was on Ethereum just remained there, and you can see its price currently on this day 10/26 is trading at $0.306592, and it is actually up from all its time low. From all its time low here, it's up 8.69%. All right. Then now we have the incentive token. The incentive token is a token that you get incentivized when you provide liquidity in the Pulsex liquidity pools. These liquidity pools these are pools of a pair, maybe Pulse and Pulsex. There is a pair of that pool where liquidity providers provide liquidity. That is to mean they provide a big share of Pulsex and a big share of Pulse, and now that is put on a liquidity pool, because many other investors are all also uh, providing liquidity in that liquidity pool. So once they do that, now and once they do that and people start trading, or people trade those coins for others, they get incentivized. So the liquidity providers usually get incentivized to the INC, the incentive token, and you can see it's now currently trading at $0.3987, and it is actually up 13.39%. Yeah, so that is now a great explanation about the incentive token and these other core tokens and core coins on the Pulse chain blockchain. I think that is a good explanation. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening to those 2 cents. So that's up. And just to explain now where we had gotten all this information, you have to go and search for Richard Hart. He's the founder of Pulse Chain, and is the founder of Hex. And this is his page. You go. This is his page. You go and follow him on Pulse on X. Yeah, so thank you very much. See you on the next video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you you like this video. Thank you.